Hey everyone, welcome to Breathe and Unpack. I'm Maya, and this is our space to slow down, breathe, and talk honestly about the things life throws at us. Here, nothing is off limits. Relationships, family, work, stress, and personal struggles. Sometimes we'll vent, sometimes we'll reflect, but every time we'll ask, what can I take away from this? You're not just listeners, you're part of our support system. That means we share, we listen, we learn, and we leave the judgment at the door. And if you need to cry or get emotional here, that's okay too. This space is built for honesty. If you've got a story you want to share or something you're unpacking in your own life, email me at breathe, the letter N, unpack at gmail.com. That's breathe and unpack at gmail.com. I might read it here on the show so we can all grow together. And just a quick note, this podcast is about personal opinions and experiences. It's not medical, legal, or therapeutic advice. So take a breath, lean in, and let's unpack life together. Welcome to the support system. As always, we're just exploring here, breathing through what comes up and unpacking it gently at our own pace. Let's take a moment to settle in and slowly unpack whatever is unfolding for us today. So, how does the new year actually feel so far? Does it feel good, heavy, kind of neutral, or like you're just moving through it one day at a time? Some people feel excited, some people feel nothing, and some people are still catching up. Whatever it is, that's probably been showing up in small ways already. In your energy, your patience, how you've been moving through your days. So far, it doesn't really feel like people are stepping into this year with that usual New Year excitement. I haven't seen as many Happy New Year moments, if you get what I'm saying. I mean, we're already a few days in the weekend, the holidays are over, and the energy feels quieter. Not because life suddenly changed, but because the holiday pressure is gone. The social expectation, the constant movement, the build up. Once that eases up, people are left with their real rhythm again. That's usually when things start to show up. January can feel like a strange month for a lot of people. There's a big idea around new beginnings, but emotionally, many people are still catching up. The calendar changes, but the body and mind don't shift on command. The way our brain works, motivation usually comes after we start moving, not before. That's why waiting to feel inspired just because it's January can feel frustrating. Momentum builds gradually. It doesn't arrive fully formed. This connects to why people joke about starting their resolution again in February. Someone misses a few days, skips a routine, or feels off track early and decides they already messed it up. That joke lands because a lot of people realize pretty quickly that motivation doesn't show up just because the calendar changed. Real life still feels like real life. And once that sinks in, people either adjust their expectations or they quietly give themselves permission to move slower. Sometimes it's not about giving up, it's about needing more space to ease in. When people talk about a new year, they usually talk about adding things: new goals, new habits, new routines, new plans. What gets talked about less is what people quietly stop doing. Some people stop overcommitting their time. Some people stop explaining themselves. Some people stop forcing conversations that feel draining. Some people stop putting energy into spaces that don't give anything back. These things don't show up on a vision board. You don't see them written down, but they still matter. They're part of a mental reset and a physical reset that happens behind the scenes. Other small shifts look like choosing rest without guilt, being more intentional with money, protecting weekends, setting clearer boundaries with work, spending more time alone to think. A lot of these shifts don't look impressive from the outside, but they change how life feels on the inside. And sometimes that's the work that matters most. A lot of people also don't see January 1st as the real start of the new year at all. Historically, the new year was tied to spring, longer days, warmer weather, things growing again, life restarting. That's where the idea of renewal originally came from, not the middle of winter. Even the calendar we use now didn't always exist the way it does today. Days shifted over time, cultures track time differently, and eventually we landed on January 1st. That doesn't mean everyone connects to it the same way. There are also entire parts of the world that don't follow this calendar at all. Chinese New Year happens later and follows lunar cycles. Other cultures mark the new year through harvest season, religious calendars, or ancestral traditions. So when January comes around, some people are fully in it, some people are mid stride, and some people are waiting for their version of a reset. That's also why this time of year can feel disconnected when you have family or friends in different parts of the world. Everyone's new year doesn't arrive at the same moment, which makes sense. No two people live the same life, so expecting one day to carry the same meaning for everyone was never realistic. That's why a lot of people create their own rhythm. For me, my reset has always been tied more closely to my birthday. That's when I reflect on the year I just lived, look at what worked, what didn't, and what I want to move differently going forward. By the time January comes, I'm already in motion or at least settling into what I decided earlier. Everyone has their own timing. No matter how any of us feels about it, we're here. Whether we were ready or not, 2026 is here and time keeps moving. There's no pause button on that. So even on days where the energy feels low or motivation isn't loud, the year is still happening. And because of that, we get to decide how we want to move through it. Not perfectly, not at full speed every day, but intentionally. Making the best of this year doesn't mean pushing nonstop. It also means knowing when to rest, when to reset, and when to pull back so we don't burn out. One thing I started doing this year is reading The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday and Stephen Hanselman. It's a daily read, 366 short reflections, one for each day of the year. I read it before I get out of bed and start my day. I like to read it so it can set the tone for the day. I've always believed that what we surround ourselves with matters. There's a proverb my parents used to say: show me who your friends are and I'll show you or tell you who you are. To me, that means being intentional about the people, conversations, and information we let shape us. That's why I've been more mindful about what I take in first thing in the morning and right before I go to sleep. I know every day won't feel the same. Some days won't be productive. Some days won't feel aligned. And I'm allowing space for that. Discipline doesn't mean perfection. It means returning to what matters. If nothing else, I hope this year bring all of us peace, health, stability, love, and clarity. No unnecessary losses. No heartbreak we can't recover from. Just experiences that help us grow, protection, and forward movement. Here's the takeaway. There's no right way for a new year to feel. However you're entering it is enough. What matters is being intentional about what you carry forward and what you leave behind. Thank you for listening to Breathe and Unpack. If today's episode sparked something in you, share it with a friend, family member, or someone you think could use the conversation. You never know, it might be exactly what they need to hear. I'd also love to hear from you. Email me at breathe, the letter N, unpack@gmail.com. Again, that's breathe, the letter N for Nancy, unpack@gmail.com. Or connect with me on Instagram at breathe, AND, unpack. Whether it's your story, your takeaway, or just a thought you want to get off your chest, this space is for all of us. And just a reminder, this podcast isn't therapy or professional advice. I'm learning and growing right alongside you. These are real conversations meant to spark reflection and support, not replace the help of a professional. We're building the support system together. One breath, one story, one moment at a time. Until next time, take a breath, lean in, and let's keep unpacking.